Welcome to John Martin Talks, where we battle ignorance and apathy daily. The growing ignorance of just how special this experiment we call the United States of America is, and the apathy that we can't or won't do anything and everything to save her. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we got a great show for you today. We're going to start off with Obama. I mean, I don't know if there's any real difference between Obama and Biden because it seems like we're in the third term of Obama. But Obama has come out and, of course, criticized, in a sense, Trump voters because he's targeting Fox News, but you know what he's talking about. He says Fox viewers live in a different reality than the rest of America. And that could be true, and we'll expand upon that in a moment. And then a school board member, just when you think it couldn't get any crazier in our schools, I believe it's in Virginia, we have a school board member who came out and gave the commencement to the local high school. And one of the things she said, of many crazy things, is remember your jihad. She said it in Arabic to the students, remember your jihad. So now we have jihadist school board members telling our young people to remember your jihad in America. I mean, so there you go. And then hopefully we'll have time to get to this because it's very important. Biden now is seeking your money. If you're a taxpayer of America, it doesn't matter what you believe when it comes to abortion. Joe Biden is set to take your money and use it for taxpayer-funded abortions. Absolutely true story here. But before we go any further, we have to talk about our sponsors. We know without our sponsors, without me linking you to our sponsors, without the viewers and the sponsors combined, we wouldn't have a show. And I realize that, and I'm grateful for our sponsors, and I'm grateful for you listening to the show and checking out our sponsors. To do that, go above the video, no matter when or where you're watching it. You will see links to our sponsors. Number one on that list is BDU, otherwise known as Big Daddy Unlimited. They are your Second Amendment headquarters because not only can you get factory direct pricing on guns, ammunition, and they have both in stock and ready to deliver, but not only that, but over 100,000 related items, all the way down to swag, but tactical gear, protective wear, survival, anything that has to do with the Second Amendment, they are your headquarters for that. And I call them your headquarters because they defend your Second Amendment on a daily basis. And I got another great piece of news when it comes to that. People are always asking me, how do I see the exact pricing on certain products like guns, ammunition, that kind of thing? Well, I got great news for you. If check out our right before our show comes on, 10 o'clock, we come on at 11 Eastern Standard Time. At 10 o'clock, you have Denny's deals on John Martin Talks and some various other places. Denny highlights one product at a time that Big Daddy Unlimited sells, and he shows you, he reveals to you the manufacturer's suggested retail price, the general internet price, and the BDU discounted price, and you will be shocked and amazed. And I would say you will sign up for BDU if you care about the Second Amendment once you see what you really will save. So remember, Big Daddy Unlimited. Remember, Denny's deals on at 10 o'clock across many of these Facebook networks. All right, our second sponsor on the list, PatriotThreads.org, apparel with a purpose. The biggest thing you need to remember is the promo code for 20% off, JMT. But PatriotThreads.org is a total fulfillment center. As the old salty dog here says, they'll take you from stem to stern on your charity events to produce shirts. They'll ship them out to you, and they'll make sure the proceeds of those patriotic themed shirts go to the charity of your choice. Recoil TV, we're partnered with Recoil TV on their YouTube channel. We have our own YouTube channel, of course. It's John Martin Talk, spell it all the way out. Howdy, YouTubers. Good morning. Howdy, how are you? Glad to have you. More subscriptions, more views is what we need on YouTube. But Recoil TV is all about the Second Amendment. They produce videos that demonstrate the latest goods and services, the types of things that Big Daddy Unlimited sells. For instance, Recoil TV shows you those in bright, bold colors. And we have a channel within the channel there. We're archived on there on a daily basis, and we're honored to be that. All right, let's get into the meat and potatoes of the show right now. Here we go. This is an article from The Hill. Obama, Fox News viewers perceive different reality than other Americans. Oh, really? Obama reality. Now, this is probably not the most flattering picture. Many of us probably have a similar picture, but that really is Barry Obama back in the day, and he's dealing with reality, let's just put it that way, in his own way. Former President Obama says that Fox News and the proliferation of social media have increased the current political divide in America. Of course, Obama played no part in this whatsoever. He played no role in dividing the country. Do you remember this video that was caught at a fundraiser of Obama talking about probably these same Americans that he's talking about now? Do you remember this? Check this out. Well, Billy Bob, I thought we were going to have Billy Bob's my psychic sidekick. We had a video, I thought, a Clingers video. We'll see. Maybe we'll come back to it. All right, we'll move on along, and if we can, we'll come back to the video. Obama said, and I quote here, he said, I think a lot of that, talking about this different reality that Fox viewers have, and he would probably throw Newsmax and people like that in there as well. Anybody who's not a CNN junkie probably fits into that. He said, I think a lot of that has to do with changes in how people get information. I've spoken about this before, but if you watch Fox News, you perceive a different reality than if you read the New York Times. And those differences have been amplified by social media, which allows people to live in bubbles with other people who think like them. Are we able to get that video up? Here we go. This is the video I was talking about. Check it out.
And they feel so betrayed by government.
Well, it's not surprising then that they get bitter. They cling to guns or religion or antipathy towards people who aren't like them, or a way to explain their frustrations.
They're clinging. So you're clingers, and you're not like the cross-dresser clinger on MASH, although that would probably be pretty acceptable today, but clinging to your Bibles and your guns. So Barack Obama played no role in whatever disunity we have in America right now. But let me get back to this because I want to make a point about the New York Times. He says this, he says, I'm going to reread this part. I've spoken about this before, but if you watch Fox News, you perceive a different reality than if you read the New York Times. Oh, really? Oh, really, Mr. Obama? The New York Times is the paper of record, right? The source you're talking about that is the straightforward news. I don't know if you remember this or not, but this was back during the Trump administration. The New York Times came out with a headline that I guess you could say was pro-Trump in the morning. It was talking about some gun issues and all. And if we could pull that up, New York Times first headline, you check that headline out. Now that is in the morning, and it's, I guess you could call it favorable. I don't think it's overly favorable to Donald Trump, but it's not like bashing him in the head. But the New York Times, this paper that Mr. Obama said is the one you should rely on, they got some complaints from people. So the afternoon edition of the exact same paper with the exact same story had its headline changed to this. Can we put up the second headline? New York Times number 2. Oh, that is. Oh, I'm sorry. It's hard for me to see, Billy Bob. I apologize. Sometime I got to keep Billy Bob. He keeps me straight. If you hadn't met my psychic sidekick, he's got a Twitter handle at Billy Bob Bass 1, and mine is at John Martin Talks. We're determined to stay in the social media scene, no matter what, in the public square. But the New York Times, who Obama gives all this credit to, literally changed the headline of their story from a somewhat positive story about Donald Trump in the morning to no change in anything, no breaking news, to a completely different negative, over the top negative headline about Donald Trump in the afternoon, simply because they had a bunch of, liberals complaining about it, progressives complaining. And the New York Times clearly takes their marching order from the progressive left. So I don't see how you can be a record of that. Obama said it has become clear to him that the country today is more divided than when I first ran for president in 2008. So he's saying it's more divided now. I can't imagine why. Of course, it's Donald Trump's fault, right? The reason why Donald Trump was elected in part was not, I'm not taking a thing away from Donald Trump at all. I think he was fantastic, and I sure hope to see him up there again. But one of the reasons why Donald Trump got elected was because we had 8 years of Barack Obama. Who knows what's going to come out if we actually get a true vote in 2024 after 2 to 4 whatever years of Mr. Biden we have. But I can't imagine why we would have any division since he first ran, Mr. Obama. And now, of course, we have the third term of Obama in the Biden White House. I mean, that's what we really have. And if you want to see some more division, this is President Obama while he was still president. When Donald Trump was officially a candidate, of course, he would be like, that who should not be named kind of thing. Listen to what Obama said about Trump and becoming president of the United States. Check it out.
For those folks who've lost their job right now because a plant went down to Mexico, that isn't going to make you feel better. And so what we have to do is to make sure that folks are trained for the jobs that are coming in now, because some of those jobs of the past are just not going to come back. And when somebody says, like the person you just mentioned, who I'm not going to advertise for, that he's going to bring all these jobs back. Well, how exactly are you going to do that? What are you going to do? There's no answer to it. He just says, well, I'm going to negotiate a better deal. Well, how exactly are you going to negotiate that? What magic wand do you have? And usually the answer is he doesn't have an answer.
He doesn't have an answer. His answer, his magic wand, there you go right there. Trump actually had something Obama lacked, which was a backbone, a spine. That guy that you said you wouldn't, he who shall not be mentioned, that guy, yeah, he found his magic wand and he created jobs because he actually did something that few presidents have ever done. Promises made, baby. Promises kept, in spite of all the nonsense he had to put up with. But listen to what Obama says here. This is today, not in the past. Obama said America has been fractured by a combination of political, cultural, ideological, and geographical divisions that seem to be deeper than just policy difference. Well, it turns out that there is a difference between America first and blame America first. There's a difference in there, Mr. Obama, because your group is blame America first. Everything is because America is bad. What did Biden say? About 15 million people, or 15% is what he said, of the American people, which is roughly the number that voted for Donald Trump, are just bad. They're just bad people. So America first actually is different than blame America first. So there is a division. And imagine this, there is a difference between MAGA, Make America Great Again, and the new mantra of the Democratic Party, which I coined as America Sucks. Yes, that is the new mantra of the modern Democratic Party. I'm not saying all Democrats, I'm saying the people you have put in charge, from Obama down now to Biden. America sucks. And this is the America sucks policy of the Democrats. America sucks. It's always sucked. It sucks for some more than others. And if you elect us, we'll make sure that it sucks for everybody equally. That is the modern Democratic version of America, the vision for them. Obama went on to say, but if anyone can help bridge our divides, who do you think he's going to say can help us? We need a Captain America, right? Who's going to come to our rescue? Well, he says this, but if anyone can help bridge our divides, it's Joe Biden. Oh my God, keep in mind, this is the dude that Obama told not to run. He didn't want him to run. He didn't want him to win. Obama did not campaign for Biden until after Super Tuesday, when it became inevitable that he had gotten a life raft from South Carolina, and was on his way to victory in the Democratic Party. That's when Obama came out for him, and it was lukewarm at best. He didn't actually campaign for him until the last couple of weeks. But Obama went on to say, if anyone can help bridge our divides, it's Joe Biden. This is his reasoning. He spent, talking about Joe, his life bringing people together. Really? Really? I mean, are you really going to say that Joe Biden has spent his lifetime bringing people together? Wow. And as president, he's doubling down here. As president, talking about Joe Biden, he's been focused on beating back the pandemic and rebuilding our economy. Yeah, it's in the tank right now in general. If it weren't for President Trump, we wouldn't even have it. Have you ever thought about this, ladies and gentlemen? I haven't said this in a while, but it bears repeating. Think about if we'd had Obama's economy at the time the pandemic actually happened. How deep in the hole we may have never recovered. Because you think about it, one of the reasons why we were able to get through the pandemic from an economic point of view or plan is because we were so strong at the time they shut us down. No, they don't want to give Mr. Trump credit for the vaccine, and they don't want to give him credit for an economy that was booming like never before. You talk about unified. He had unified prosperity for all Americans, regardless of race, creed, or color. It was that strong of an economy that allowed us to go through this pandemic. I maintain that. But Obama says about Joe Biden that he has ideas that Americans from both parties can support. Really, before I get into this next little rant, I gotta take a sip. Really, Joe Biden is the unifier. Do you remember? I'm going to play you some time lapses here, so to speak. This is from 1990. This is Joe Biden, and people really need to see this video as much as possible. I wish they'd have played it more. I know I did leading up to November 3rd election, but this is the dude. If you're talking about unifying, and I'm assuming Obama's talking about race here because everything is about race, unifying black people, for instance, I can't believe that folks of color actually voted for this dude. Check it out.
The streets. It doesn't matter whether or not the person that is accosting your son or daughter or my son or daughter, my wife, your husband, my mother, your parents. It doesn't matter whether or not they were deprived as a youth. It doesn't matter or not whether or not they had no background that enabled them to become socialized into the fabric of society. It doesn't matter whether or not they're the victims of society. The end result is they're about to knock my mother on the head with a lead pipe, shoot my sister, beat up my wife, take on my sons. So I don't want to ask what made them do this. They must be taken off the street. That's number one. There's a consensus on that. Unless we do something about that cadre of young people, tens of thousands of them, born out of wedlock, without parents, without supervision, without any structure, without any conscience developing, because they literally, I yield myself 3 more minutes, because they literally have not been socialized. They literally have not had an opportunity. We should focus on them now. If we don't, they will, or a portion of them will, become the predators 15 years from now.
He's talking about black children. Do you get that? He's talking about black children are predators. And he says it doesn't matter what caused it. It doesn't matter if they've had, underprivileged, if they've been living in poor socioeconomic conditions that he helped create in the 50 years he's been up there. It doesn't matter if their parents aren't, I'm just translating what he's saying. It doesn't matter if their parents aren't capable of raising them. That's what he's saying. He's saying all that's important is my white, because as far as I know, they're all white, mama, grandmother, sister, brother, whatever, don't get their head bashed in by your predator children. That is what he's talking about. And he's talking about locking them up and throwing away the key, which is exactly what they did. The Democrats did that. But look at what President Trump did. He undid some of the the wrong that the Biden 1990 crime bill under President Clinton did. But the bottom line, it doesn't matter. That's the dude you've elected there. And if you think that that's 1990, let me go back a little bit further, because Joe Biden has been doing this for a long, long time. This is from like 1974, I think. Look at this headline of this article right here. He's talking about black children being integrated into predominantly white schools, and it's going to jungleize them. Jungleize them. So I guess he's saying they're going to be ape-like in there. They're going to be less than human. They're not human. I mean, this is the guy that is the unifier. And if you think, oh, that's not fair to go back to 1974 or even 1990, how about 2010, the last time he was sniffing at the White House when he was then Vice President Joe Biden? How about these people? And he actually lionized a Ku Klux Klan member, Robert Byrd, who had passed away, senator from West Virginia, I believe it is. Robert Byrd, who was an imperial wizard of the Ku Klux Klan, for God's sakes, an unapologetic one. And Joe Biden actually talked and eulogized this dude. Let's listen to an excerpt from it right now.
As also noted, Robert C. Byrd was a parliamentary library, a keeper of the institution of the Senate, and he was the institution itself. But to me, and many people here today, like guys I see, Bill Bradley and Jim Sasser, who've long left the Senate for greener pastures, and I hope better remuneration. We used to kid about that too, but for a lot of us, he was a friend, and he was a mentor, and he was a guide.
A friend, a mentor, and a guide. A friend, a mentor, and a guide. So this is who Joe Biden looks to as a friend, a mentor, and a guide. Now, Robert Byrd. Now, he wasn't alone there. He wasn't alone by any. There were a lot of unifiers there. I think I see Joe Manchin, who's getting a lot of publicity today. I see Obama there. I see Biden, and I believe that is Bill Clinton, all with their hand over their dadgum hearts for a Ku Klux Klan member, and they talk about unifying us, and they talk about white supremacists. Can you get more white supremacists than that? I mean, good Lord, the big lie that they're having you believe that the Democratic Party is the party of freedom. It never has been, and as far as I can tell, it never will be. You've been lied, you've been played. Don't listen to these people, man. It is a message of destruction, and we're going to talk more about that as this show unfolds. But Obama went on to say, this is just recently about Fox News viewers being in a different reality. Obama said, until we can agree on a common set of facts, right, until we can distinguish between what's true and what's false, like the New York Times, the beacon of truth, of course, then our marketplace of ideas won't work. Our democracy won't work. They're always saving democracy by impeaching a president, duly elected president of the United States, not once but twice, once illegally after he was out of the White House. I talked about this yesterday a little bit, but remember, Biden admitted in that Ukraine video we played, check out our show, our podcast, I'll tell you more about that in a second, but he admitted that, yes, son of a gun, I was going to hold up $1 billion. You don't think I got the power? Call old Barack Obama and ask him. He was holding back the prosecutors from prosecuting and investigating Hunter Biden. There's more incriminating evidence to impeach Mr. Biden now and impeach a president out of office, because we've already established that, so we can impeach Obama as well. There's more evidence in that video I played yesterday than in everything they put up against Donald Trump in 2 dadgum impeachments. And by the way, if you want to see our podcast, several ways to do it. Of course, you can go to Recoil TV. You can look at most of our Facebook pages, YouTube, obviously. But America's Voice News is a great alternative to the mainstream media. They're on Roku, Fire Stick, Apple TV. They have free apps on your Android, your iPhone. They're also on Pluto channel, and they're on Dish Network channel 219. Go to their streaming service. We don't have a live show on there. Ask them to put us on live. They got room. but we're streamed on their streaming service. Look at the show archive or the shows tab. Click on that, and you'll see our show, a great alternative to it. But it's just crazy, man. I love this part where he talks about a common set of facts. Let me get this. Oh, yeah, right here. A common set of facts. Now, the truth, ladies and gentlemen, is these people don't believe in what they're selling you. I talked about this a little bit yesterday with the G7 summit where they had all the phony pictures of them distance from each other. As I say, check out our show from yesterday. And then when they are behind the scenes, they're all lovey-dovey and squid. They don't believe what they're selling us. That's what pisses me off the most about it. And I'll show you right now a picture a picture's worth 1,000 words. Obama doesn't believe any of the BS he's selling. This is his brand new home. I think it's in Nantucket. Do you see what happens to be in front of that there? That is the open ocean, the Atlantic dadgum ocean. He spent reportedly between $15 and $30 million for that property and that house. Do you really believe that if you thought we only had 10 years to live, 12, whatever they're giving us, or even 30 years to live, that you would spend $20, $30 million, whatever he spent on a home if you believe that? Come on, man. As Biden would say, come on, man. You know the deal. They don't believe the crap they're selling us. And if that's not enough for you, how about the whole Russian hoax? It's come out now in the last year or so that basically it was all contrived in the Obama White House after Donald Trump won election. They wanted to hamstring the guy. I mean, that's pretty much been proved. And he says our democracy won't work. That's because we don't have a democracy. At least we're not supposed to. We're supposed to have a representative republic. And the reason why we're not unified, Mr. Obama, is because we don't read the Constitution anymore. We don't agree on what we used to agree on: life, liberty, and the pursuit, not the guarantee of happiness. The Constitution, like this meme shows right here, it doesn't need to be rewritten or ignored. It simply needs to be reread and taught in our public school system. And now that I want to talk about the public school system, I'm going to move on before I overheat on this story to one that's surely going to make my blood pressure rise. We got another one right here. I'm on it today, baby. This stuff gets me fired up, pisses me off all at the same time. This is from the Washington Examiner. School board member tells graduating high schoolers to remember the jihad and brace for a world of white supremacy. It's all about white supremacy, man. I mean, these are the graduates. Our young people's minds are being poisoned as we speak. People are always asking me, I think I'll run for election or something. And the first thing they want to do is jump to like state representative or something, or county commissioner. I tell them, for God's sakes, you know what we really need? We need you to run for school board, no matter where you are. God, we've got to take our schools back, man, because our young people are being poisoned, and we're just starting to really realize it from all of this. Homeschoolers have known it for a long time, but now we're starting to realize it because of all this virtual school, streaming school, Zoom school or whatever. But let me tell you, before I get into this, a little bit about the person I'm about to talk about. This is Abrahar Amesh, and she is the school board member. We'll see a picture of her in just a minute. But just to give you some background on her, before she became a member of the school board, Bernie Sanders' Virginia campaign co-chair for Bernie Sanders' presidential campaign in 2020. So she was a big shot in Bernie's campaign. She was elected in 2019 to the Fairfax County School Board. She is the daughter of Libyan-born jihadist, sympathizer, check this out, sympathizer of Essam Amish, that's her father, who is a former president of the Muslim American Society. Now, this is who we're talking about. I think we got a picture over here. Let's put her up there if we can, Billy Bob. There she is. Now, I got nothing against Muslim Americans at all. I'm not saying she doesn't deserve to be elected. The people elect, we get the elections we deserve, my dad used to say. But I got an issue, and I'm always going to have an issue with this when she is wearing the hijab. Ilhan Omar, I talked a lot about this yesterday. She's got special exemption because you're not supposed to wear religious garb on the House floor. I don't know about these school boards, but the hijab, ladies and gentlemen, and this is not me saying this. I mean, now it is, of course, but I've done a lot of research. I've interviewed people who have lived, women especially, who have lived under Islamic regimes. The hijab represents everything that is anti-woman. Everything about what she's wearing there is anti-woman. You tell me where people wear this on a routine basis, where this is required clothing, that women are free. It's just not a fact. In fact, it's just the opposite. And for her to wear this shows me that she either doesn't care about herself. Certainly she's been brainwashed, I guess, but she absolutely should not be representative of young women in this country. No wonder they don't care who competes in sports, because they don't even care about themselves. A Virginia school board member, this Miss Amish here, I'm going to say her name correct, Arbra Amesh. I want to give her full credit. Get full credit. A Virginia school board member warned graduating high school students that they were readying to enter a capitalist world with racism, white supremacists, and extreme versions of individualism. Boy, what a powerful, uplifting message that is, that you can't do squat. Basically, she's saying it doesn't matter, and we've been hearing this a lot lately, that it doesn't matter what you do, doesn't matter how hard you work, doesn't matter what schools you go to, you're not going to make it because you're something. Whether it be a religious issue, male, female, black, something. You're not, there's something holding you back beyond your efforts, which is nonsense. But let me tell you, she says extreme versions of individualism. Well, she must be talking about somebody like me. Because when I hear extreme versions of individualism, if you've been watching our show at any time, you know that I am that. And guess what? I'm damn proud of it. I am very proud that I'm a rugged individualist. I would love to, I hope she sees me and others see me as the same type of fortitude, and I'm not saying I have it, but I would like to think that I have in my veins the same type of fortitude that founded this great nation, because it was founded by rugged individualists for rugged individuals. So I don't even know what extreme versions of individualism mean. I guess it's the opposite of putting that hit on you and being of total submission, which I'm sure she's not, but that's what that hijab represents. It just fires me up. Fairfax County School Board member Abrar Mush told the graduating class of mostly minority students, which is a dadgum shame to put this negative message on those kids, because even if a remote part of it is true, which I'm not saying it is, then they have a uphill battle, then they should be encouraged even more to overcome it. But that's not what she says here. She's saying, you got to be activists against, jihad against it. Our world, this is what she says, our world is overwhelmed with need. Now, we're talking about the United States of America here, not our world. You're a member of the school board in the United States of America, ma'am. You're not in Pakistan or Libya, wherever your people are from. You're not in the S-hole, the hellhole that was created, by the way, by the Obama administration, leading from behind. Just a side note there. We struggle with human greed, she said, racism, extreme versions of individualism and capitalism, white supremacy, growing wealth gaps, disease, climate crisis, extreme poverty amidst luxury and waste right next door, and the list goes on. So all I would ask Miss Amash is please name me just one Islamic dominated country that you can resolve any of that stuff you just talked about. The best shot you got is right here, right now. Tell me one place. You can chime in on Facebook, any of our places, anywhere. We're on BitChute, Rumble. I mean, we're getting all over the place here. YouTube, that kind of thing. I'll try to get to as many of you as I possibly can. But name me one place where you have a better opportunity to overcome every one of those things you just said than right here, right now. I'm waiting. All I hear is crickets when I say that, because it's just not true. And she is part of this same cult that is growing within the Democratic Party. Really, it is progressives have taken over. And if you haven't heard me say this lately, I need to say it pretty much every show. My only political goal right now, I mean, we got a Hawthorne, my little town city election tomorrow, and I'm going to judge the candidates this way. It's probably not fair, but it is the reality I live in now. My only political goal is to stop the progressive takeover of this nation. Stop it. All we've been able to do so far is slow it down, but I want to stop it. And so I'm going to judge you from the outhouse to the White House, Park Avenue, Park Bench, appointed whatever, city commissioner in Hawthorne tomorrow. I'm going to judge you on how I see you helping me with that goal, because I am so sick and tired of blame America first. That has become the essence of the Democratic Party. I'm not saying all Democrats. I'm saying the people that you have elected to office, like this school board member, is blame America first. I'm sick of it. I'm already done with it. I'm not done talking about it, but I'm not going to accept it. Yes, we have warts. Yes, we're imperfect in order to form a more perfect union. We have our faults. You know why? Because we're human beings. Human beings. There used to be a book somewhere out there. She probably never read it, but that we ought to get back to reading occasionally. It says we all fall short of the glory of God, man. We all fall short. So yes, we are imperfect because we're human beings, but I am absolutely fed up with blame America first, which is what she is doing right here. And I'm just not going to take it. I'm going to point it out every time I see it. Algorithm or whoever be dadgum damned, I don't care. Now, algorithm and due deference, I know you're the most powerful man out there. To algorithm. But ladies and gentlemen, as long as I got this microphone in front of me, I can't help myself. I have to speak the truth. The truth is my friend from patriotthreads.org. Check them out. JMT 20% off. He says the truth starts now, and I'm going to try my best to live up to that. Omesh, who is the only Muslim member of the school board, gave the keynote address at the graduation for students at Justice High Schools in Falls Church. She was introduced, check this out, she was introduced by a member of the student council who noted that she had previously, as I said, campaigned for Senator Bernie Sanders, Bernard Sanders, bid for president, and is the daughter of a Sham Amish. I told you about that, but listen to this. This reporter also reports that a leader and board member of the her father, the Dar al-Harama Islamic Center, a mosque attended by the 9/11 hijackers and the shooter at Fort Hood in 2009. Connection? I don't know. Maybe somebody, as Ilhan Omar, somebody did something somewhere. I mean, it's unbelievable. And to talk about, well, maybe you're Islamophobic. Well, I remember Christopher Hitchens. I got the pleasure of seeing him the Dinesh D'Souza debate here at the University of Florida before his passing, and I actually like true liberals. I mean, this guy, Christopher Hitchens, is a true liberal in the best sense of the word, and we miss people like him. These progressives are nuts, but he's absolutely right. Read that about Islamophobia. I posted it on some of the Facebook sites earlier, or late yesterday, I guess I should say, but it about sums it up, don't you think? But Omash went on to say, today we checked off a box, and you're talking to these are high school students. She said, today we checked off a box in your academic journey. As a human being, you have developed and you have grown. You have developed and you have grown. Not because of teachings like her. I guarantee if they have, and I hope they have, it ain't because let me just ask you, ma'am. I mean, she's saying you have developed and you have grown. You definitely can't develop and grown if you're from a country, or you're living, I should say living, because people from, come to this country. I don't blame you for coming here, by the way. I really and truly don't. I want us to have legal immigration, but I don't blame anybody, especially if you come from a country that ends in the word stand. I mean, if it ends in the word stand, if you living in a country right now that ends in the word stand, run! That's all I can say. Run, man. Because tell me one country that ends in the word stand that isn't, as Donald Trump would say, an S-hole country. I can't think of a single one. So maybe you know one, but if you're in a country that ends in stand, run while you still can. Amesh encouraged students to remember their jihad at one point in Arabic. So she's speaking in Arabic and all different kind of languages up there. She's trying to be cute, right? Jihad. What is jihadist in America? Well, we've seen jihad in America. We've seen it kill thousands of Americans. Thousands of Americans. The world, including, by the way, many people of color and gay people. They don't discriminate. I mean, we saw the Pulse shooting in Orlando. They didn't care who it was. That was all Islamic terrorism, plain and simple. The world sees, this is what she goes on to say here, Omesh. She said, the world sees the accolade, the diploma, the fruit of all your years, yet be reminded of the detail of your struggle. Now, she said this both in English and Arabic, switching back and forth. She said, remember their jihad in Arabic. So I guess what she's saying, and this is my interpretation, is there's a difference in how you use the word strap. Extreme rugged individualists like me use the word strap like pull yourself up by your bootstrap. You know, you can be anything you want to be in America. So I use the word strap. Now, my daddy sometimes used the strap slightly different on me, but that's a different story. But pull yourself up by your bootstraps, son. I mean, that's how rugged individuals like me say it, right? But I guess she's talking about a different strap. Strap a bomb on your back, boy, and go down there and blow some folks up, and we'll get paid, and they'll name a street after you. I mean, it's just crazy that this is happening in America, but that's freedom of speech. I don't deny the right of this woman. I want to make this point very quickly. I don't deny the right of this woman to say this. I'm pissed off that she said it. I wish she'd be voted out, repealed. The people in Fairfax should be ashamed of themselves for electing this person, but she has every right to say what she wants to say, as I have every right to condemn her in the harshest possible way. Both can exist at the same time because this is America. The country doesn't end in stand. We don't wear jihad here. You're free to wear it, but remember what it represents. The school board member warned the students that the world would try to keep them down. There's a good message for it. They're going to try to grind you down, boy. But she encouraged them to remain steadfast and keep your eyes on the prize. This, ladies and gentlemen, bottom line in this is a message of pure destruction. Pure destruction. This is so far away from Dr. King's message of character. Remember what Dr. King, I think we got the meme that we can pull up there, Billy Bob, that shows Martin Luther King said, yeah, judge people by the content of their character, not the color of their skin. I hate to say this, ladies and gentlemen, but in modern America, in Joe Biden, Barack Obama, Omesh's America, Ilhan Omed's America, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Rashida Tlaib, that goes on and on and on. In their America, Martin Luther King's dream is dead on arrival, DOA, man. And that is a sad, sad thing. The only thing that can turn it around is American patriots. It's for us to man the political ramparts, or we're going to have to man the real ones again. Are you with me? It's a battle of tyranny and freedom versus freedom, or vice versa, man. It just is. All right, I got a couple of minutes left. I got to get into this. Got about 4 or 5 minutes left. I want to get into this last thing here. And this is an opinion piece from The Hill by a lady named Denise Burke. She's an opinion contributor. I agree to a point with what she's saying here. Biden's new proposal on the Hyde Amendment is illogical and unpopular. The Hyde Amendment, Pinocchio Joe, because he lied. See, he was all for the Hyde Amendment, and now he's not, because he's a liar. He's Pinocchio on fire, pants on fire, nose burning up, or whatever. Maybe that's why Kamala Harris loves him. Maybe that's a side story. Anyway, the Hyde Amendment supposedly keeps public funds from being used for abortion. Doesn't have anything to do with whether you're pro or con. It just keeps taxpayer dollars from funding abortion, which it really doesn't, and maybe I'll have time to explain. When President Biden began assembling his cabinet, several commentators predicted that his presidency would be something of an Obama third term, and it really is. But now Biden has broken further from those predictions in his budget proposal by gutting the Hyde Amendment. Now, they're insinuating that Obama was opposed to the Hyde Amendment. Opposed to doing away with the Hyde Amendment. The only reason that he was opposed to doing away with the Hyde Amendment is he didn't think he could get away with it. Joe Biden, I hadn't said this in a while, but if I say it, it bears repeating. I've come to believe that Joe Biden is absolutely the perfect president for the progressive agenda for the third term of Obama, because he's an old white dude, right? He's an empty slate. His entire agenda has already been completed. He's president. That's all he ever wanted to be. Everything else, they're spoon feeding him. That's why they keep him protected and all that kind of nonsense. But he's the perfect vessel for them. The Hyde Amendment as I said, let me just sum this up really quick. Basically, they're saying that this author is saying that it's wrong, and I agree with her that it's wrong because it pits people against each other, that your taxpayer money would be going for something, a social issue that you're against or you may be for, and either way, it's not fair. It's, so it's my money, but it's your choice, is basically what she's saying. She says Biden supported the Hyde Amendment for nearly his entire political career. And as I said, his agenda, and let me just read this and we'll close the show. President Biden has stepped far beyond, this is an opinion piece, Roe versus Wade right to privacy when he defends Hyde by saying abortion-seeking women also need the ability to exercise their constitutional protected right via taxpayer financial support. The logic doesn't hold at all. Basically, the Hyde Amendment says you can't use taxpayer money, but when you look at Planned Parenthood, they're still using taxpayer money. They're just shuffling it around. I think you understand what I mean. But let me just say this, and this is controversial, and I'll end the show on controversy. I hope they go through with it. I hope they go through it and do away with the Hyde Amendment because the money's already going there. It's not like the money's not already going there. They may put more money to, but they do away with it because it'll be more honest. It'll be more honest and people will really see what's happening, because the only way, because I battle ignorance and apathy daily here, the only way we're going to get truly woke is to listen to shows like ours. Check out our sponsors, please. But be truly woke and find out what's happening. Because I got to believe if the vast majority of Americans realize that their taxpayer dollars have already been going to fund abortions, and now it'll just be out in the open, that maybe they'll change. I hope you've enjoyed the show as much as I've enjoyed bringing it to you. Please go directly to all our social media sites, like them, share it with others. Check out our sponsors in the link above the show. I'll pray for your family. You pray for mine. Let's all pray for this great nation. She needs it, deserves it more than ever. But above all else, like I say each and every day, from my heart, from my family to yours, have a blessed day. Thank you.